Welcome, this is Adrian, and today I'll be showing you how to make tulips in a vase. It's perfect to give it for a Mother's Day or a birthday gift, and let's see how to make it. First, we'll be making the tulip part. So I'm just using you could do any color of your choice. I'm just using a red square sheet, 6 inches, you could do any size. And you first fold it corner to corner. Open it up, fold this corner to this corner. Then you fold in half. Open it up, turn it around, fold it this half to this half. Precise folds. And then, now I'll first do the fold and then I'll show you how to do it. Okay. So here what I did is I first it's a very usual fold in origami. You first fold on these creases, the mountain folds, and then when you have this, you're gonna squash fold it. You're gonna go to the middle and flatten it because you already have these creases. So this is gonna be how it is. It's like this. Now you're gonna fold this point to the top. I'm going to do that all repeated on all 3 sides. Put over 2 more. Now what I'm going to do is okay, so I'm going to first get this fold. There are 4 little flaps over here. So you're gonna fold this flap, there's 1 more flap, so you're folding this half here, and so there's 3 points here, and then you're gonna flip it over so the 3 points are here, the edges are here, and then you're gonna fold this point, this half over here. So now those points that you just folded onto the top are now in the middle of it. So now I'm going to fold this and this point here to the middle crease. Copy that here, this point here. Do that all both on the other 2 sides. And do nice. Good. Flip it over. Fold this point here. And fold this point half here. So now what it's looking is like a little diamond shape almost. So what you're gonna do, you're opening this up and then you're putting this point inside this little flap here, like pushing this in, not all the way, you could just leave a little space. It's gonna help what it's gonna do on the So doing the same thing in the next fold, doing the same thing, opening up, pushing it in. It's fine if these folds go to the middle. So now what it's looking as almost put stuff in there. Now, so what you're gonna do is you see this little hole here. You're gonna blow in that hole. So it's what it's looking as, I blew it up like I'm blowing a balloon. I'm taking these folds out, and now I'm making creases along here. Across, at this point. Let's blow it up a little more. Good. So now this is how it's looking, like a little pyramid almost. And now you're gonna like peel the banana almost. So you're getting this flap. You're almost peeling it like that, and then you're gonna do that on all the sides. Take this flap and then peeling it. It's kind of satisfying. Take this flap and then peeling it. And last flap, this flap, and then peeling the banana. So now you have the tulip head. I made like 3 to put in a vase. So now we are going to make the stem. It's very easy. It's kind of just rolling up a little tube. What I used is a paintbrush. She's using a paintbrush and glue. So look at this green sheet of paper. You're almost rolling it up. What I do first is I first glue the opposite side that you're rolling. Do a little strip. Cap on. Then get this. I'm making a normal size. That's what I did. Rolling this up. Rolling it up. Make sure that the line stays on. And before I go to the glued part, I take this roll out. I push this down so it gets all even. And then I roll up the glue and put it on the paper, flatten that glue on. So you rub it against the table. Now I got the stem. So now what I do is there's like a little like poking thing in there. So what I do, put this on the side. And so usually get the stem, and then I poke this through here. It's the old one. Like this. So now you have one tulip. So now what I'm going to be doing is the vase. There. I made 3. I just repeated those steps. And you could do 3 like this. Take this out, and now I'm making the vase. So what I'm using is a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Side. I used purple. So you first fold this corner to here. I first tack this point here, and then I fold this diagonally in half. And now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut out the rest of this. Just cutting this out. Get a scissor. Cutting the rest of it out. So now I have a big square sheet of paper. So now I fold it diagonally in half. Again, corner to corner. And now, open it up, flip it over, fold this half to this edge. So now just making an intersecting creases, and then I'm gonna setting it for fold that I'm gonna do. And then you do this point, this half to this half. Okay. Now I'm gonna open it up, flip it, and that's like a mountain creases, and these are valleys. Now I'm gonna like poke it, you pop it, and then flip it over, pop it here. Then you get these, as you see, like these are like floating. If you spin it, floating, like they're pointing up. So you get this. You grab this little piece, grab it like this, you pinch it, then you flap this down, like this. You do the same. You pinch this crease and then push it down. So now I will turn it over. This is gonna be, I'm just doing like 1 inch. If you want, I'll measure that. 1 inch. Good. Crease. Now I'm gonna unfold that. Grab this point. Make sure this doesn't get past like this, not folded in half, but so this point is like over here, right here, and then you put this point to the middle. Here. That's what I'm doing, and then I'm leaving like a little space, like 3 centimeters or so, or like 1. And like a little space here. Be less space. Small space. Folding it. Doing that all on 3 sides. So make sure this doesn't get past that point. Put this here, fold it a little bit to the middle, like tiny bit less. And then make sure that this didn't get past that. Now do it on the other 2 sides. Just copying the side that I did, like aligning it, make sure it's the same on the side. Doing the same. So now what I'm doing here is I'm gonna squash fold this. I'm opening this up. First getting this layer. Opening this up. Squash. You get these creases together. Push it. So now it looks like, then you fold this in half. So you get this, and then you fold it in half. So I kind of like hid the crease back here. Hid it back here. So now I'm going to do that, fold this back here. And I get this point. Nice. Flat and squash fold it. Just reinforcing these creases and then squash it. Now I did 2. Now I'm gonna flip it over. Do it the same. Opening this up. Pushing this in. Squashing it. 1 more to go. Opening this up. Squashing it in the middle. Now you're done. So now what it's looking at is like a lighthouse or something. So I got this point. For opening this up, make sure this doesn't rip. Do it like right on there. Make sure this point goes to the middle. And then this point to the other side. Make sure you don't rip this. It's very important. Just make sure it doesn't rip. Now I flip it over. Do this the same that you did before. Tacking the edges. And make sure that the point goes to the middle. Good. Now, it's what I did for the tulip. It's almost, you like fold this half, this flap over here. You have two here, two here. Oh my god, you actually have, oh. Fold this flap here. Now you have three flaps here. Flip it over and then fold this flap here. So now it looks like what you did before, and then the flaps that you did here are now in the middle. So now you do it again. Fold this point, tack that, put this, land it on the middle crease. Flip it over, tack that, it's on the middle. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm doing that. I'm folding these flaps, fold it in half, open it up, fold it in half. Now I'm tucking these creases. So you got these two little flaps over here. You push these in, not the middle flaps, keep those there. Push this in, and then you're like locking this crease together. So you're opening it up. See these little flaps that you did? That's the squash folds that you did before. You hold those there, and then you reverse it and fold it right there. So now, locking those creases together, doing that on the other side, flip it over, opening this up, grabbing these two creases, then pushing this in. So this side doesn't come apart. Flatten it. Now it looks like a lighthouse. Okay, now you fold this in half, what you did before. Fold this in half. Then you don't lock these two creases, you just fold it. Just reverse it. First, just fold it in. Make sure that you still have these creases. Now, do the same. Reverse it. Make sure you don't lock anything. So now what you have is like you put those little flaps there. So now you have like an X if you open those up. Okay, so you got this crease, this fold that you did before. Just do that crease again. So now I'm just folding this crease. It's like, I'm doing it like folding this crease. This is going to be this crease, and then you tuck those in. So it's going to be like, so I'll show you how it's looking. This is what I'm at, but I didn't tuck those creases in. That's what I tucked in. So now I fold this here. I'm leaving a little space, not to the center. Then you turn around, fold this. Not to the center, just estimating it like about, let's see, 1 inch. Is it 1 inch? Yeah, 1 inch. 1 inch. Fine. You flip it over. At this point, kind of like copy this so it's the same. And then you do that on the other side. Okay. So now what I'm doing, make sure you don't open this flap, the top one, but the bottom one. This the small flap that ends. So now I'm holding this, pushing this, and this is like the hardest fold for me. You push this in. Okay. These creases are fine. So this. Open this flap. Now pushing this in. Doesn't need to be perfectly in. I'm just make sure that you don't, when you close it, you don't see any like creases. So it's like this. So you like hit that crease inside. Right? So now I'm opening it up, tucking this in, doing it all the same. Pushing this in, straight. Fold all of it in. Now I got 2 done. 2 more to go. Opening this flap up, tucking them in. Tucking this in. Now I got 3 done, and 1 more. Pushing this in. And now, so we did all those little pushing them in. Now I'm opening this all up. It's done now. So you just, last step, open this all up. Make sure you don't undo those creases that you just did before. And then get like, I'm using this paintbrush, like push this. So you're pushing the bottom. Make sure. The paintbrush. My hand. Reinforcing those creases. Opening this up. So the vase is done. Now all you need to do is put the tulip in, and then got a vase of tulips, and I just did 3 more. So got a vase of tulips. And this is how you make paper origami flowers.